It's really hard. You have to really dedicate yourself to do it.
A lot of dedication, a lot of practice.
Trap shooting is a sport full of surprises. For one, the sound of a gunshot cutting through the silence can sure make you jump. But here's something even more startling. Some of these talented shooters are barely in middle school.
My name is Heather Brosky. I am 12 years old and I'm a national champion. Well, I've been hunting like all my life, and when we moved to Tennessee, we saw that my school had the team, and so we joined it, and ever since then I've been shooting.
Like so many in the sport, Heather learned to shoot from her dad, firing her first gun when she was only 5. She won a national shooting championship with the Tennessee Scholastic Clay Target Program just 7 years later. Now Heather trains with Tennessee Certified Olympic Training Center, where every target she hits brings her a little closer to her ultimate one.
I want to be in the Olympics. I want to win the Olympics.
Turns out, her neighbor already has.
My name's Cogdell. I'm 26. I'm a 2-time Olympian and an Olympic bronze medalist. I've also won multiple World Cup medals, been on the last 6 World Championship teams, and had a lot of success in the sport. So I'm very blessed to be able to compete for my country and do what I love.
It's yet another surprise that here at the Nashville Gun Club, world-class shooters like Corey from Team USA and talented local kids can practice their aim side by side.
I know she's not shooting her best, but she's standing next to 2 Olympic shooters. So I think, a little bit of nerves, a little bit of, this is a big shoot. These are her idols. These are what her dreams are, these people next to her. So it's very exciting for her.
Lucky for Heather, Corey is more than happy to offer advice.
Corey's a bronze medalist, and for her to go up and talk to a younger kid, I mean, it's like, oh, and I want that to happen. It's just like, if you see somebody struggling, you want to go help them instead of just sitting back and watch them. The generation that we have now is more likely to go up and help somebody.
To reach Olympic level, young shooters need all the encouragement they can get for the long road of training ahead.
Generally speaking, it takes between 7 and 8 years for a shooter to transition from American trap to international trap and get to that level where they're really competitive overseas. So it can sometimes be quite a long process. Since I train 5 to 6 days a week, a couple hundred rounds a day. I work with a sports psychologist. I work out with a trainer in the gym. There's a lot of pieces that go into being a world-class shooter.
Among them, having access to a world-class training facility.
And there's not very many bunker traps at all in the southeastern United States, and we're lucky enough to have it through the Tennessee Wildlife Federation.
The TWF recently built this facility at the Nashville Gun Club to accommodate Olympic-style shooting. So for some of our shooters looking to move up the ranks and get all the way to the games, trap shooting just got a whole lot faster and a whole lot tougher.
American trap is what you would find at your local gun club. The targets are thrown about 45 miles an hour. The hardest angle you can get is a 17-degree left to right, and the targets are always the same height.
American trap, you're throwing off just one machine. Olympic trap, you're throwing off 15 different machines in a bunker.
The targets go 60 to 80 miles an hour versus 45, and the hardest angle you can get left to right is a 45-degree left to right. They also vary in heights from about 1 meter off the ground to 3 meters, so you can get anything within that spectrum. So it's like, American trap on steroids.
This is my first year doing it, so it's different and I'm not as good at it, but I really like it.
Heather hopes in a few years she'll be good enough to compete in the 2020 Summer Olympics.
Are you guys coming to Colorado Springs this year?
Before today, there's not much talk of medals and more camaraderie than competition between these shooters gathered here from all over the country.
It's so great for me to see, people like Heather out here competing and shooting. I didn't get introduced to the Olympic sports until I was 16, and I didn't start competing in them until I was 19. So it's so awesome to see someone like her getting started so young.
When you come to a shoot like this and you see there's 6 squad people and 25 of them are young kids, that means that's the future right there. I mean, it's going to continue going.
No matter what age you are, what ability you are, what physical condition you are, you can have the ability to go out and shoot and go out and hunt. And it's a great sport to get your kids involved in. and spend time with them, and that's something that I really cherish the memories of growing up, is going out and hunting with my dad and fishing with my dad and him teaching me how to shoot. So it's something that you can really do your whole life.
It's fortunate enough that our game allows us to do that. As long as you got the eyesight, the reflexes, you're still good to go.
Few sports are so tough and so forgiving at the same time. And although it may be true that every shot matters, this one is far from Heather's last. I'm Lindsay Merwin on The Wild Side.